Thank you for joining me today for this very special Hangout on Air for companies that use Sage 50 accounting software. Today, we're going to take a preview look at Microsoft Power BI connected to Sage 50. My name is Hugh Johnson. I'm Head of Business Development at Suntico. And if you have any questions following this Hangout on Air, please do get in touch via the normal social channels or by email at hugh.johnson@suntico.com. On the agenda today, why would you want to connect Microsoft Power BI to Sage 50? Then we'll take a quick preview look at what it looks like and what you might be able to do with it. We'll discuss Suntico's role in this because so far I've just mentioned Microsoft Power BI and Sage 50, but Suntico does play a very important role in this. And then finally, I will address three very predictable questions that you may have. But as I say, if you have any more questions beyond this, then please do get in touch with me. If you enjoy this Hangout on Air, or even if you don't, actually, you can share it on your social networks with your friends and followers and encourage other people to take a look. So the first question is why? Why on earth would you want to connect Microsoft Power BI to Sage 50? Well, the answer is very simple. And in fact, this answer is the same answer as to really why Suntico exists. And it's to address the business problem that the most valuable data in a small to medium-sized business, in fact, in any business, is often very disconnected from the people that need it most. And, if you think about it, that the most valuable activities within a business typically either start or end in the accounting software. But actually, most people within the business don't have access to the accounting software. And that accounting software yet is so rich of primary data that can be used to support insight and analysis across the business. So that's why. And the second question about why is, well, why Microsoft? Why Power BI? And the answer to that comes in many forms. The first answer is that it's a cloud-based solution. And that means that if you can somehow connect it to your Sage data, you can then deliver insight and analysis wherever your employees or consumers of that data are, whether they're on the road with their tablets or smartphones, or whether they're at home or in remote offices. So that's one reason why Microsoft Power BI. Another reason is because, quite frankly, when I first saw Power BI last year, my jaw dropped. I was thoroughly engrossed with what I thought was the BI tool that BI tools were trying to be for the last 20 years. I thought it was incredibly easy to use and incredibly intuitive. So that's another reason why. And one thing that had put me off bringing Microsoft Power BI into the world of Sage 50 was that when it was first launched, I thought it was quite expensive. But the really good news for our customers is that Microsoft has slashed the price for Power BI. And in fact, they now have a free version that you can use to create reports and distribute reports across the business and perform analysis against your Sage 50 data. So those are three good reasons why Power BI. So without further ado, let's take a quick look at what I'm talking about. We've actually got three components running here today. We've got Sage 50 that we all know and love. This is Sage 50 US edition 2015, but equally it could be Sage 50 accounts from the UK or Ireland, or Sage 50 accounting Canadian edition. The principles we're talking about here are all the same. So we have Sage 50. In the background, there's a Suntico connector that is connected to Sage 50, and that is publishing the Sage 50 data up into the cloud, actually into two places. It's publishing it into Suntico and the Suntico database, and we can take a look at that. If we just go to the Suntico website and I log in, Here I'm logged into a fictitious company called Bellwether Garden Supply, and all that data that I had in Sage 50, this is also Bellwether Garden Supply data. All that data I had in Sage 50, I've published up into the Suntico database. And you can drill down and you can see customer accounts, vendor accounts, transactions, sales invoices, and the like. All that data is published into Suntico. And that's one way of sharing the data across the business. And what Suntico provides is a kind of social collaboration layer where you can progress work across the business, really designed as an account management tool. But if you're wanting to deliver business insight, that's where Microsoft Power BI comes in. Let's take a quick look at that. Sorry for that. And in Power BI, we have a number of things going on. We have what's happened in the background is we've created a set of dashboards based on the Bellwether data that you can we've pre-prepared, and then you can drill down and take a look. And then behind those dashboards are also individual reports, again, that you can drill down and take a look at. And one of the things that I really like about Power BI is this kind of free text question that it has, or free text query, or natural language query. So I can start typing in sales by quantity, for example. And rather like Google, it just prompts me and suggests what I might be looking for. Or alternatively, I might be looking for sales by unit price or sales by description, and so on. And that just automatically pulls up the different reports I'm looking for. So that's the thing that I found really powerful in Power BI. Now, it takes a bit of setting up to get that right, but that's really where the value of Suntico comes in, and we can deliver that to you already pre-set up. Now, I just want to drill down and just take a quick look at another couple of examples that I really like the way Power BI works. We've created a report here showing a few things. It's sales quantities by customer name, sales quantities by product ID, sales quantities by month, and the location in which those sales are happening, all on one screen. And it's really interactive. So what I can do, if I wanted to click on one particular customer and say Armstrong Landscaping, I click on that one customer, straight away I can see the products that Armstrong Landscaping has bought, you know, the big sellers from Armstrong Landscaping. If I hover over it, I can see actually the quantity and the unit price paid. I can see the quantity of sales by month, and I can also see where those sales were made. And you can see actually as I click through different customers, the profile changes. And I see for Aldred Builders, I've got sales made in Europe, and I've got again a different product mix and a different period mix. It's very simple and very intuitive, and I really like that aspect of Power BI. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced, what you can do is you can drill down into the individual data sets within the system, and and you can create your own reports. Okay, so I can select, you know, say customer ID. And it's by default it's producing me a balance by customer ID. But equally, I could flip that over and say last invoice amount by customer ID, last invoice date, and you know, whatever fields that I've got within the system, and then I can save it. And I can pin that to a dashboard if I want, and publish that out to other users. So you can have different users creating the different reports and different views, and other users just consuming them. So that's a really high level, very quick whistle-stop tour of Microsoft Power BI. This is just intended to be a quick introduction. And what I'll do now is I'll just go on to discuss some of the other items that we were talking about. So what's actually going on in the background and how does it work? Your accounting data, in this particular case, is what we call on-premises. So typically your Sage 50 accounting software or your Intuit QuickBooks or whatever might be running on a server in your local office. And what we do is we download, or you download, what's called the Suntico connector client, which installs and runs silently in the background and publishes your accounting data up into the cloud. And that's controlled and managed through this remote service called the Suntico connector service. And that's published in, that data is published into a database for the accounting data, but also our cloud system actually has an extended data model where you can extend other attributes and other entities that are linked to that accounting data. For example, you might have information about prospects, you might have information about tasks or events or activities that are not within the accounting data, and all that data is then pulled together and published out through a web-based application program interface or API, and we've had other events talking about that. And then the application, the Suntico application you just saw, then accesses that data through the API, as does Microsoft Power BI or any other third-party applications that you may want to connect into the data. And that's basically how it works. And really what the value that Suntico is providing there is making all of this transparent for you and making this all very seamless for you. So you as a client, all you need to do is download the Suntico connector and connect it to your Sage system and get started. Once, of course, you open up an account for Suntico. And that actually leads on to the 3 questions that I had said that I would address. And those 3 questions are, what are the prerequisites? What's the cost and how to start? Okay. Well, the prerequisites are simple. If we're doing, and I don't want this to sound insulting to anybody, but if we're doing Microsoft Power BI connected to Sage 50, there are 2 prerequisites in the statement there. You need Sage 50, and you also need an account with Microsoft Power BI. That can be a free account or it can be a premium paid account. That's entirely up to you, and you open that account with Microsoft. And then in the middle, you also need an account with Suntico. And it is Suntico that controls publishing that data out into Microsoft and into the Suntico application. What is the cost? It's very simple. The cost is whatever the cost is to take out your subscription to Suntico, and those costs are on our website. We don't charge a premium, or we won't be charging a premium for connectivity to Microsoft Power BI. But the charges that you would pay to Suntico will be based on the data volumes that you're analyzing. And of course, on top of that, if you've gone for a premium version of Microsoft Power BI, then you'll have also those costs. But you may choose to run on the free version. So the next question is how to start, if you like it, if you like the sound of this. And that's actually very simple. The sad news is you can't quite start yet. This is a pre-release preview. I'm just giving you a quick snapshot into some of the stuff that we're working on at the moment. But if this is of interest to you, what I would propose you to do is to go to our website, go to our homepage at suntico.com, and there you will see a form saying try our demo, and just fill that out. Because what that means is you'll go into our mailing list, and as we roll out connected to Microsoft Power BI, we'll tell you. And over the coming weeks, we will be showing some much more detailed demonstrations of how that works. So that's the time up for this Hangout on Air. I would like to thank you all very much for joining me. And as I say, if you have any questions at all, please reach me on the social channels or by hugh.johnson@suntico.com. And if you've enjoyed this Hangout, please share it with your friends and followers on your social networks. Thank you.